क्या हो गया?
ऐसे चलना मुश्किल है, मतलब मुश्किल है, मुमकिन नहीं। कैसे कलर खरीदे
सपना आई नहीं है अभी तक?
हाय सपना, नहीं मिले मुझे।
पीछे है पीछे।
सपना आंटी वहाँ कहाँ
नहीं, वो
होंगी?
टोपी लाने भेजा था उसको।
Door knocked over.
नहीं सपना नहीं दिखी।
That was
टोपी
the
लाने
door mistake.
कहाँ गए थे?
सामने की जाओ। बहुत देर हो गई यार।
देखो, तेरे देखने जाते हैं।
फोन मेरे पास है।
अरे आगे।
दोनों फोन मेरे पास है। जाओ किधर है?
देखो मैं आके देख।
मेरे पास।
चले जाना।
ये सबको साथ में लाना पड़ेगा। हाँ। वो एंट्री तक तभी दिलवाऊंगा। कहाँ क्या कर रही है यार इतना टाइम?
आगे से
आपका फोन है आपके पास? आपका फोन लेके जाओ प्लीज। फोन क्यों नहीं लेते हो तुम लोग? ये देखो कहाँ पता है? कहाँ पता है? आजा।
There's B.
We're about to disembark. Pictured Rocks Lakeshore.
Usually see 13 miles of sandstone cliffs drop off in the water. Some places these cliffs reach as high as 200 feet. Made out of sandstone, it's a relatively soft rock. It's carved out by the wind, rain, and waves. It makes way for various archways, formations, and caves. There's mineral spring water seeps up the side of the cliff, runs down and leaves stains behind. Almost makes it look like somebody painted the face of the cliff. On our trip out, we'll take a look at a few sandy beaches, a couple of waterfalls, and take a close pass by an old lighthouse that's been refurbished. Well, the name of the boat you're riding on today is called the Pictured Rocks Express. The Pictured Rocks Express was built in Somerset, Massachusetts back in 1988. She is 78 feet long, will carry 330 passengers, and is powered by twin Caterpillar diesel engines. They're 35 weights and 1,300 horsepower apiece. Once we're at our cruising speed, they'll be pushing us along at right around 28 miles per hour. On tight. Grand Island encompasses right around 14,000 acres. Sticks out into the lake for almost 12 miles. There are 35 miles worth of shoreline and even 2 inland lakes. Put size and perspective of something you might know. These are just summer homes. Nobody lives on Grand Island year-round. The owners of these summer homes try and slip over here at least a few times a year to escape the very hectic pace of busy downtown Munising. I just want to show you these summer homes. If you look ahead of us here, peering through the trees, you see an overlooking structure. It's the old East Channel Lighthouse. We're going to take a close pass by it, and I'll tell you more about its history.
downstairs. You can't be standing on the stairs. Down.
Pictured rocks are made of a Cambrian sandstone that dates back right around 500 million years old. There are two distinct layers of rock visible to us. The upper part of the left is a whitish gray. That's a Munising sandstone, which harder rock. As it down it turns to more of a tannish color, well, that's a Munising sandstone formation, or a much softer rock. What is this combination of a hard rock over a soft rock? Color you may see today is due to a groundwater mineral seepage. What happens there is there's a water table somewhere above the lake. It'll pick up minerals and carry them on the sides of these porous cliffs. It'll start to run down, oxidize, and leave stains behind. A lot like if you have too much iron in your tap water, leave a brown streak at the back of your sink. That's the same concept along with pictured rocks. Many of the colors you'll be seeing today include browns, reds, oranges, and dark purples from iron ore mineral seepage. Blues and greens are from copper, white is from calcium, the black is from manganese. Around 85 feet high. You might be able to notice where the Park Service has built a few observation platforms around it. A pretty nice park area up there, complete with picnic tables, barbecue pits, and a facilities building. This is the only rock formation we'll be seeing today that you can drive to. To get out here, take H58 east out of Munising. Currently there's some road construction. Even with the detour, still around a 25-minute drive. We were actually passing through here just last fall, and we were lucky enough to witness a wedding being performed on top of the castle. All of the passengers, a beautiful place to have a wedding. I agree. But it's the only marriage that I know of that started off on the rocks. Yeah, that's right. Get it out of your system now. The jokes only get worse.
No doubt.
This trickle of waterfall is what's left of Bridaldale Falls. Much like Jasper, it only flows the early springtime or after heavy rainfall. The reason being for this one, up around 20 years ago, a family of beavers built a dam on the creek feeding the falls. Usually dries it up by midsummer. Now these next three coves are the painted coves. Try to remember your colors. Browns, reds, oranges, and dark purples for iron ore mineral seepage. Blues and greens are from copper. White is from calcium. And the black is for manganese. See how this first coat is pretty much all iron. But now is also a good time to mention we have a concession stand on board located in the main lower cabin on the first floor. Be happy to sell you a small selection of beverages, including Coke, Diet Coke, Sprite, water, or a light lemonade. Sell you each of those for just $1. All that we ask is if you happen to purchase a canned beverage, please bring it back to the concession stand area when you're done with it. Take those and recycle them. Greatly appreciated. This section of cliff, great example of how the wave action carves out sea caves in the soft rock. Late fall, early winter, waves will crash into these caves. They'll have nowhere to go. They'll pressurize and shoot up in the air like a cannon. The wind will grab a hold of that, blow it into the top of the cliff. By the middle of winter, be 3 to 4 feet of ice up there.
Whoa. Now we've reached one of our more popular points along the tour, and so I'm going to show it on both sides for you. It will be on the left-hand side first, and I'll spin back around for those of you on the right. You don't have to look up the shoreline too far to notice that archway. That's Lover's Leap. I wouldn't recommend to jump off of Lover's Leap. I don't care how much you think you're in love. Water depth underneath the arch is only 3 feet deep.
I got some.
Rainbow Cave. If you look closely in the mouth of Rainbow Cave, you may notice some of that groundwater seepage falling from the ceiling into the lake. It's like it's raining inside of Rainbow Cave. That groundwater does flow year-round, makes for some pretty colorful icicles wintertime.
Guys can't stand in here. Can't stand at all on this deck. Gotta be in the seat. Thank you.
Imagination, you could pretty much walk off in the distance over there. Some people have claimed to have seen all sorts of things. I've heard anything from Indians on horseback, trains, farm scenes. I even had one gentleman just last week been telling me that he saw Ruby and blowfish.
Oh, the camera's really picking up the reds up there. Puts this in, run this through some color correction, it's going to look awesome.
Indian head kind of even looks three-dimensional to me. See a jawline, cheekbone, even an ear. Now, many of the hockey fans I've had on board tried telling me that Indian head looks a lot like the Chicago Blackhawks logo. But I guess I wouldn't know, because I wouldn't waste my time watching the Chicago Blackhawks. I'll get you, man, if you stands 180 feet high. Archway appearing here is Grand Portal, and according to government charts, Grand Portal is the highest rock formation along the Pictured Rocks, towering 210 feet above the lake. It used to be a series of caves and caverns extended out to around where the boat is now, covered an area of an additional 6 acres. Came crashing down over 100 years ago. So before that, you could take a boat this size straight into it. Isle of Rowley is seen there now, happened around 20 years ago. Could paddle a canoe or kayak through there. Now you pretty much have to rock climb. its resemblance to one of the bows of the old World War II battleships. On the battleship, you see the sandy beach. And here they come now. Battleship Row.
Oh, I get it.
Picture the rocks as the base, has a narrow waist or stem, and the trees as the flowers. Looks broken or chipped off on the right-hand side. Now these next 2 points are the Indian drums. Kind of look like elephant's feet. There's a noise that goes along with these drums. Said when a 15-foot wave comes crashing into this cave. Sounds a lot like thunder. The next thing I want to point out here is a profile of a face. Well, some see it, some don't. As I spin out towards the lake, you see these next 3 points. Look at the closest of those 3 points. Round cave halfway up. Picture that as a left eye. Rock outcropping below to the left as a nose. And mustache at water level. He's our Pictured Rocks pirate. Even wearing a tri-cornered cap. For hikers along the Lakeshore Trail. Those hikers will get out here, feel like they're a million miles away from everyone. It's on a hot summer day. They'll strip off all their clothes and run up and down this beach naked.
I just barely got it.
Around that time, we'll come around the corner with people and surprise everyone. Passengers don't seem to mind too much. One gentleman told me that was the only wildlife he saw his entire vacation. Waterfall here in the corner of Chapel Beach is Lower Chapel Falls. As we pass it, you'll see a wooden footbridge crossing. That's part of that Lakeshore Trail. Soil up there for that tree to survive. The only way it gets its water and nutrients are from its roots that hang over to the other side. See those roots quite easily hang on the left side of Chapel Rock and dangle over to the mainland. There used to be a stone archway supporting those roots. Caved in around 75 years ago. Yet, the tree lives on. and this is Spray Falls. It's around a 55-foot drop. Neat little thing about Spray Falls, wintertime, an ice column will form around it. The water will continue to flow through the middle. It's the only waterfall along the Pictured Rocks that flows year-round. Now, despite its natural beauty, it's also the site of one of the worst maritime disasters along the Great Lakes. Back in 1856, the sidewheel passenger vessel, Superior, lost her rudder here in an October storm. The wind and the waves blew it up against a cliff and broke it into pieces. All 32 crew and passengers lost their lives. The rocks do continue down for another mile or so. Tapers off into a sandy beach for 12 miles, all the way to the farthest point you see in the distance, called Ensemble Point. A few miles past that is the village of Grand Marais, which is the end of the Pictured Rocks National Lakeshore. If you're ever over that way, be sure to check out the log slide and the sand dunes, called the Grand Sable Dunes. Now we went out there and decided to dive down more than 100 feet. Find that the water temperature only varies 4 degrees from winter to summer. That's 38 to 42 degrees Fahrenheit. Not the best swimming water. On this return trip, we'll be cruising up the same shoreline. A few places I'll try and sneak you in a little closer. All you have to do now is sit back and enjoy the ride.